Over 150 moons orbit planets in the solar system, and one of those moons calls Earth home. The moon was formed about 4.5 billion years ago, and one theory states that Earth slammed into another early planet. Debris from the collision began to orbit Earth and accumulated, forming today's moon. The moon is the fifth largest natural satellite in the solar system and has a diameter that is just under the width of China. Now, lunar observations really got started when Galileo Galilei made improvements to the early telescope. In his day, Galileo made good use of the telescope and observed mountains and craters on the moon's surface. This led him to think that the moon was made of rock and that a person might one day stand on its surface. But it wasn't until fairly recently we had the capability to go to space and check out this idea in person. In the 1960s, one of our most famous presidents, John F. Kennedy, challenged American scientists to be the first nation to put a man on the moon, and we did. The lunar landings provided all sorts of information about the moon. We now know that the moon is composed of an iron-rich core, plus a mantle and a crust, containing minerals made out of magnesium, oxygen, and silicon. In the past, the moon was covered in magma, but today, apart from traces of water ice, the surface is completely covered in dust and rocky debris. Countless craters cover the moon's surface, and each were formed by objects such as meteoroids, comets, and asteroids crashing into the moon. The largest crater, which is the South Pole Aitken Basin, spans across a quarter of the moon's surface and is nearly deep enough to fit Mount Everest inside. We also know that it is 384,400 kilometers from Earth to the moon, which took the Apollo astronauts 3 days in the lunar spacecraft. This is a distance that would take 480 days to drive by car. There is still much to learn about the moon, but as we continue to study and research, it brings our understanding of Earth's only natural satellite one step closer.